Jai Shri Ram. Esoterica from the Mahabharata. Esoterica, like I already told you, is obscure details which only a scholar is likely to know. In this recording, I am going to acquaint you with some esoterica which I have culled out from my several readings. Mahabharata has 18 parts, each one known as a PARVA. We call it chapter in English. So, and each PARVA has sub-PARVA, sub-chapters. And totally in Mahabharata, excluding the Harivamsha, there are 100 sub-chapters or sub-parvas. The first parva is the Adi Parva. Now, in the Adi Parva, I have culled out some special particulars. Now, I am not going to summarize the Adi Parva now. We will have that in another recording. Yudhishthira is 1 year older than Duryodhana. That itself is sufficient. He qualifies to be the king. Between all the 5 brothers of Pandavas, there is a difference of 1 year in the age. Age difference between Pandavas is 1 year. Panduraju died when Arjuna was 14 years of age. Bhima and Duryodhana were born on the same day. The Mahabharata states that Karna had the strength of 10,000 elephants. His feet resembled the feet of his mother Kunti, and Yudhishthira said that whenever he saw the feet of Karna, his anger towards him used to calm down, abate. Dhritarashtra performed 1,000 Ashwamedha Yagas. Now, this Ashwamedha Yaga does not mean slaughter of horses. Okay, that was an interpolation. Ashwamedha simply is an undertaking like a project, like what our Modi ji is currently doing. Railway project, road project, so many projects. These are Ashwamedha Yagas. Okay. So, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty now on Ashwamedha. I have already posted one video. I will post one more, probably a summarized one for you to easily understand. So, get this out of your head that Ashwamedha means slaughtering horses or putting horses, immolating horses. That means pouring oil, petrol or something and lighting up the horse and killing it that way. That's the most horrible thing. No Hindu would ever even dream of doing such a thing. Unthinkable. When Yudhishthira, when Veda says Pashun Pahi, Antakaya, Goghatam. So Naramedha means funeral rites. Gomedha means agriculture. Gomedha also means controlling your senses. So Ashwamedha is a project undertaken to expand the kingdom and also all other projects, infrastructure related developmental projects. Khatam. Chalo, Gandhari bore pregnancy for 2 years after conception. And on hearing that Kunti begot a son, she struck her womb. The fetus came out and Vedavyasa broke that fetus. He operated on that, made it 101 pieces and put them in pots with medicated ghee, and after 2 years 100 sons and 1 daughter were created. So you can, this is how you take it is up to you. So call it cloning, call it whatever you want. Okay. Next, Khandava forest was burnt for 15 days. Okay. The forest had to be cut down for a city to be created. Khandava Prastha. Shantanu, King Shantanu was so spiritually exalted, so pious, so devoted, that if he ever touched an old person, they would regain their youth. Shantanu, the father of Bhishmacharya. Okay. Of course, Shantanu fell in love with Satyavati, and Dasharaj, who was the father of Satyavati, she belonged to a fisherman kulam. So, Bhishma took the vow that he will not ascend to the throne, nor will he marry, so that even in future his progeny will not claim the throne. As per the request of Dasharaja, because he said that my daughter's children should become the kings. So that was Bhishma, and so Bhishma took that vow, and Bhishma means terrible. So that's how Bhishma, who was originally known as Devavrata, got the title Bhishma. So Shantanu was so pious, so spiritually exalted, that if he touched old people, they would regain their youth. Swayamvaram. Swayamvaram was in vogue in those days, and also there was another concept called Virya Shulkam. Please make a note. Virya Shulkam. That is, Swayamvaram is the prerogative, special right, exclusive right of girls, women, to choose their husband, choose the husband of their choice. Therefore, all the princesses and kings were invited, and usually competitions were held so that the best person could be, identified, the best bridegroom. But then again, ultimate decision was always left in the hands of the girl. That is, if she sought not to marry the fellow who won the competition and decided to marry the one who got the silver medal or someone else altogether, she had full rights. So this is proof of the freedom that women had in Hindu society. Besides that, practicality was always a part of Sanatana Dharma. They had another concept called Virya Shulka, which means, in case if, let us say, somebody is the king or the prince, now he might be busy in his administration and he may not go to this particular kind of a gathering. So he could depute his nominee, who would then go participate and win those brides on behalf of his king or prince, and then the king would get married. So now some idiots may use this as an opportunity to malign Hinduism, again on the grounds that here women are being treated as property. Rubbish. These idiots with their Marxist thinking and all those Islamic and Christian apologists, they don't first of all look into their scriptures, which are full of lechery, butchery, treachery, and let us not talk about them. So don't mind these scoundrels. Now, so in the case of Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada, Bhishma went, and he on behalf of these two, who were actually like his sons now, because they were born to Shantanu and Satyavati. Bhishma was born to Shantanu and Ganga. So on behalf of Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada, who were the sons of Shantanu and Satyavati, Bhishma went to this Virya Shulkam. Unfortunately, public call it Swayamvara, which is a genre within Swayamvara. So he defeated all the kings. In fact, he did not. He just told them, now once Bhishma is there, no, the others had no guts to face him, and a small skirmish, skirmish. A skirmish is a petty fight. Skirmish is chutput ghatnaएं, छोटा सा झड़प, a petty fight, a fracas, not a battle. Battle is much bigger. The war means something consisting of several battles. So we are learning English at the same time. Please understand. My motive is rebooting Hinduism. I am teaching you whatever I learn, Mahabharata, Ramayana, whatever, along with vocabulary. So there was a skirmish and they all ran away, and Bhishma picked up Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. And Amba is a hypocritical character here. Please try to understand. This Amba already was having an affair with Salva, Salva. He had his kingdom somewhere, near Kazakhstan or somewhere. So this girl already was having, you can imagine how libertarian her thinking was. But then when she saw Bhishma, she mistakenly thought that Bhishma is going to marry her. Bhishma was a handsome guy. I don't want to describe now. Bhishma was awesome, in every way, well built and handsome and capable. And had Bhishma been the king of Bharat, our story would have been different. But anyway, so Amba thought, mistakenly thought, and then halfway through the journey, while Bhishma was literally abducting them, they happily allowed him to take them away to Hastinapur, where they thought that Bhishma is going to marry them. The Bhishma then revealed that he is taking them away for the sake of Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. Now, at that point of time, Amba told Bhishma, no, I am not interested in Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. I thought you would be marrying me. So Bhishma revealed to her that no, he is not interested. Then at that point of time, this girl said, okay, then I want to go because I love that fellow, Salva. So Bhishma was kind-hearted. He said, okay, you may go. Because that was the culture. No oppression, no oppression on women. No polygamy and all that. Okay. Of course, polygamy was there for kings. Sorry, well, you see, it was a complex setup. But women were not abused. So Amba left and she went to Salva, and Salva rejected her on the grounds that once this girl has been abducted by Bhishma, she has in a way become unchaste. She has lost her chastity. So Salva is not willing. So this girl now returned back to Bhishma and asked him, and Bhishma rejected. So she got terribly angry. She said, I am going to kill you. So she went all the way to Parshurama to request him to fight. Incidentally, Parshurama gave a promise even before knowing who he has to fight, on the grounds that some injustice has been done. Don't worry, I will protect you, I will punish that fellow. Later she revealed that it is Bhishma. So Bhishma was already known for his prowess worldwide. So Parshurama is after all an avatar of Vishnu, so he said, okay, we will punish that fellow. But then they both fought. It is said they fought for nearly 20 days, you can imagine. It's like playing World Cup cricket match. You get up in the morning, get ready, get into battle gear, and they fought each other. And Parashurama's power was already transferred to Rama. See, the next avatara. So Parashurama was in a way, what is the right word to use? Emasculated. E-M-A-S-C-U-L-A-T-E-D. Emasculate means all the power has been withdrawn. Withdraw the power. Literally, it is gelding, G-E-L-D, castrating. So, in an implied sense, emasculating would mean take away all the powers, deprive of all powers, make powerless. So, nevertheless, he fought against Bhishma, and after 20 days, Parashurama confessed that he is not able to subdue Bhishma. So, which is tantamount to conceding defeat. That is tantamount to conceding defeat. So, tantamount means equal in amount, commensurate means equal in amount. So, Amba now was further frustrated because even Parashurama was in no position to punish or subdue Bhishma. So, she did some tapas, yoga sadhana, and with the boon of Shiva, she was reborn as Shikhandi, the first daughter of Drupada, with the explicit purpose of killing Bhishma, because she felt that Bhishma was the cause of all her misery. Now you can see what kind of a dangerous character this girl is. This kind of girls are pretty common these days. In these days, thanks to Bollywood and Bollywood and all this mlecha culture, raunch culture, which these rascals are promoting, the Jaddu Chacha and all these scoundrels who are writing scripts in which love jihad is promoted, mlecha culture, raunch culture, and Sanatan Dharma is demeaned. At least now Hindus have woken up. That PK, that Amir Khan, you can watch. So this is what happened. So we have more of these kind of girls today. Feminazis, you know what is a feminazi, please check up if you don't know. These feminazi type girls who are libertarian and extremely promiscuous, and you have one night stands and what you call live-in arrangements and all kinds of absolutely lecherous activities which are normalized. So this is the new normal. So this girl Amba was like that. And there is no hell like a woman scorned, as the poet said. So she undertook severe penance, tapasya, and Shiva gave her the boon that yes, her wish will be fulfilled. So she was born as Shikhandi, as a girl, to Drupada. Now, if you go further into the details, in fact, I am telling you part of Adi Parva now. I am not telling you the whole of it, but anyway, I will continue. Since it is not good to cut off a story halfway. So now, Shikhandi was born as a girl. Now, Drupada wanted a son, but he got a girl, daughter. So he decided to bring up his daughter like a son. So this daughter was dressed up like a son and taught all martial arts and all subjects, and she became a great scholar and a great warrior. In fact, it is said that when Shikhandi was fighting the battle, Kurukshetra, observers thought that they were seeing Sri Rama, because such was his prowess. So now, Shikhandi was brought up as a boy, and Drupada, after Shikhandi came of age, around 16-17 years, he arranged a marriage with the daughter of Kashiraj, another king in that Kashi area. So now you can very well imagine the king's daughter who got married to this girl. It is almost like an LGBT setup now. So that girl realized that this fellow is not a guy, it's a girl. So when she informed her father, so her father was enraged at what Drupada had done. How long can you keep fooling people with this? So Drupada, I do not know what came of him that he went ahead with this stupid idea of getting his daughter married. The optics are involved. You see, there are lots of things involved here. These kind of stupidities, even today, many people display. I don't want to get in. Watch Savdhan India, you will understand why I am talking like this. And there is so much superstition in our Hindu society. Thanks to the Mlechas, we have absorbed a lot of superstition. We already have some problems of our own. Now we have absorbed more from them. So Drupada did something so stupid, unthinkable. And so that king, he decided to go to war. So his army started marching towards Drupada's kingdom. So in the meanwhile, Drupada was of course getting ready to face him in battle, but Shikhandi felt so miserable because all this nonsense is happening on account of her. She ran away. She thought she will commit suicide. She went to the forest, and there she decided, okay, there's a big tree, now I'm going to hang myself. And before hanging, she thought, I will do a little Shiva Puja. She installed a Shivalinga there and worshipped with Ganga water and flowers and all that. So when this medicated with spiritual water, holy water if you want to call it that, so that fell on the roots of the tree. Now that tree was actually a Gandharva who was cursed to become a tree for some folly of his. That fellow sprang to life and thanked Shikhandi for having brought him back to his normal frame, and he offered a boon. And Shikhandi said, I am just going to commit suicide, so I don't want any boons. So as the conversation continued, the Gandharva came to know that she was going to commit suicide, because this is what happened. She was married off to another girl, and she was being projected as a male, which she can't be because she is a female. So Gandharva used all his powers, and Shikhandi from a female was transformed into a male. Now these myths have a specific purpose. See, many great intellectuals have understood myths have many specific purposes, which is to inspire our intellect, motivate our intellect. And even Albert Einstein said, never lose your sense of mystery. Albert Einstein's understanding of God was that the supreme mystery of the universe and so many laws which we don't know, these are what he says is the embodification of God. Anyway, so call it whatever you may, but this is the situation. So Amba, no, sorry, Shikhandi is now transformed into a male. And he goes back and he lives happily with his wife, and so the story continues that way. So the battles are called off and they celebrate, and people are still puzzled what the hell is going on. So let's leave it there. So where from did we take off? So Shikhandi was born with the explicit purpose of killing Bhishma. Of course, Bhishma also knew about this. So, and Drupada wanted a son, so he conducted a yajna, and Drishtadyumna was born with the explicit purpose of killing Drona. You can imagine, Drupada was obsessed with taking revenge and against Drona. Why was that so? There's another backstory. These are called frame tales. The English word is frame tales. Mahabharata and Ramayana. One tale leads to, one story leads to another, and it goes on and on. Sometimes you forget the original story. So that is what happens to me also when I am delivering a talk, a pravachana. I consider myself a katha vachak. So people have to put me back. I usually have an assistant or somebody who has to tell me from where I have taken off. So now also, so the Drupada and Drona rivalry, in short, was this: Drupada and Drona both went to the same Gurukula. They were good friends in childhood. Drona unfortunately was very poor. So Drupada in the childhood promised to Drona that, listen, I am a king's son, I will give you half my kingdom. So these were words spoken in childhood. Long after that, several years, maybe let us say 18-20 years after that, when Drona got married to Kripi, who is the sister of Krupacharya. Krupacharya fought for the Kauravas. So they were very poor. Ashwadhama was constantly ridiculed by his friends in school, because in the Gurukul, because Ashwadhama's family was so poor that his mother used to mix maida, all-purpose flour in water, and give it to young Yashodhama and as if it was milk. They didn't have money even to buy milk. And Ashwadhama proudly used to boast that I have drank milk. The others used to ridicule after seeing some, stains on his lips, that, hey, listen, this is not milk, man, you are a bloody fool, this is maida. So Ashwadhama grew up in such wretched poverty. So the Drona went all the way to Drupada's kingdom and said, hello, how are you? And he reminded Drupada that in childhood he made this promise. So Drupada ridiculed him, listen, you silly Brahmin, in childhood we say many things and you took that seriously. Now get lost, I'll give you a couple of cows. Don't think of getting half the kingdom and all that. So Drona got humiliated, snubbed, and he vowed, I will take revenge on you. I will show you what I am. So I will show you what is the true meaning of friendship. Later, after all the martial arts training, see, Drona was appointed by Bhishma on a contractual basis to impart martial arts training to the Kuru princes, which include Pandavas and Kauravas. And under the contractual obligation, these are weapons of mass destruction for the sake of state security. So Dronacharya taught all these things. Krupacharya taught Vedic knowledge. So all this went on. So now in between, Ekalavya came. That fellow stole state secrets, as you can call it. And Drona was so forgiving. On Ekalavya, I have given another recording. So please watch that. So now, after the whole education was over, valedictory function was over, Dronacharya, see, besides the contractual fees that he received, Guru Dakshina was a concept. So the student can never repay. We students are indebted to our parents because they are our first gurus, and then the teachers who come next. So mother is infinitely greater, exponentially greater in deserving our respect compared to the father, and father is 10 times exponentially raised to the respect you should give to the teacher. That's what Manu says. If you want the Manusmriti Shlokam, it is like this. Upadhyayan Dashacharya Acharyanam Shatam Pita Sahasrantu Pitrun Mata Gauravena Atirichyate. So the parents are the first gurus. So Mata, the mother, deserves more respect than 1,000 fathers, and the father deserves to be respected 10 times that you give to an acharya. An acharya is one who can teach you all about life, all acharas and everything. So he is something like a professor who can teach you many subjects. So acharya, upadhyayan dashacharya. Upadhyaya means one who teaches just one or two subjects. So that guy's respect raised to the level of 10 is the acharya. Acharya raised to the level of 10. Father raised to the level of 1,000, or sahasra can mean infinite, which means that is the amount of respect a mother is due, because she is the first teacher. Then comes father. So please understand. So who is your first trainer? Mother. Then the father. Then the guru. So Guru Dakshina, they asked what he wanted. He said, see, I vowed that I will punish that fellow. And since I am a Brahmin, I am not wanting to take up all the, task myself. So please do that. So Kauravas went. They were defeated by Drupada. They were thrashed and beaten up. Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, they got a sound thrashing. Next, the Pandavas. And now I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty. The Kauravas, were always restive, restless, skittish characters, over-enthusiastic. They swung into action without any planning, and they got severely beaten up. So Yudhishthira was watching the whole scene. Bhima, Arjuna, they all planned it, and they defeated Drupada because he was also a great warrior. So Arjuna brought and tied up Drupada, and Drupada fell at the feet of Dronacharya. But Dronacharya, a good Brahmin that he is, he said, okay, now you see, I have taken all your kingdom, but I am a good friend. I will give you half my kingdom. You failed on your promise of giving me half your kingdom, but I know what is friendship, so I am giving back half your kingdom. The other half he retained, and Ashwadhama was crowned the prince of the other half. So now Drupada went back he was terribly angry, vindictive, so he wanted to take revenge. He did a yajna, and he got Drishtradyumna to kill Drona. And he wanted a daughter, Draupadi. Draupadi came up, and Draupadi was destined to destroy the Kurus. Why? Because Dronacharya was given sanctuary there. So this is a very complicated. See, what is the message for us in life? So never unnecessarily provoke people, never make promises, never violate your promises, because it will provoke the other person to launch into this kind of a vindictive venture, which will be dangerous and disastrous for everyone. So be nice to people. See, we say that even an ant, even a small bird, there is a story in Mahabharata, a little bird, its eggs were swept away by the ocean. What can a little bird do? So the little bird, I believe, with its beak, tried to empty out the ocean. The eggs of this little bird, which were in a nest, were swept away, the ocean tidal wave, breakers, and the tree was broken down, eggs were swept away and were lost. The little bird wanted to recover her eggs, and she picked up little water in her little beak and tried to empty the ocean. Now the most ridiculous proposition, quixotic proposition, like Don Quixote. But the matter spread, and media was very, very active at that time, Narada. So it reached Garuda, who is the king of all the birds. So Garuda said, oh, my poor little brother, I will help this fellow. So Garuda came and threatened the king, the god of the seas, Varuna. So Varuna said, okay, sorry, I am going to give back. So in this small story, which sounds so fantastic, difficult to believe, the message is, even if you are very small, if you make an effort, that is how the universe, the whole of the universe will conspire to assist you in your dream project. So now let us get back to our story. So Shikhandi's story ended there. Shikhandi was a great warrior, equal in prowess to Sri Rama. So Shikhandi, but Bhishma vowed that he will not fight against a woman. eh. So Shikhandi was kept in front and Arjuna attacked Bhishma from behind. eh. So together they finished him off. So it was not that Shikhandi, in most of the movies on Mahabharata, these bloody idiots, these directors and producers and actors, these bloody ignoramuses, they portray Shikhandi as if he is some kind of an effeminate character, pansy, Pansy, Chakka. Not at all. On the contrary, they should read the originals. Would they dare to distort things like this pertaining to Islam or Christianity? No. But we Hindus, unfortunately, we are not aware ourselves. We don't read the originals. And these scoundrels are busy doing what they are doing, maligning Hinduism. So, Shikhandi was not some kind of a Chakka, Hijda or effeminate character. But Bhishma was such that he had to be killed like this only. Since Bhishma made a vow that he will not fight against a woman, Shikhandi was kept in front. And Shikhandi himself finished him. Arjuna was from behind, made sure that Bhishma has to be wiped out. He fell. Bhishma didn't die. Bhishma had Ichha Mrityu. But in spite of that, what happened? He fell to the ground. So, and Bhishma kept quiet when Draupadi was being disrobed in the court. After delivering a talk on dharma amounting to 30,000 shlokas in Shanti Parva, Bhishma is a guy who, when Draupadi was being disrobed, kept quiet and said that, dharma is very subtle and I cannot decide whether you should be allowed to be stripped. Of course, he did not say all this. He kept quiet and just said this much. Dharma is too subtle, which is the most ridiculous thing to say. A woman is getting disrobed in public and you are still thinking maybe that's allowed. That's why he had to be knocked down. The message is our nation today is full of Bhishmacharyas, in fact worldwide. Very knowledgeable people who fail to understand what is dharma, in spite of all their understanding of dharma. They can give lengthy talks on dharma, but they will commit iniquities, enormities, crimes, felonies at the critical moment. So these people have to be eliminated, and that is how he was eliminated. So in the name of Esoterica, we actually had a lengthy talk. Now we are going back to Esoterica from the Adi Parva. So Dhritarashtra performed 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Gandhari also we finished. Khandava forest was burnt for 15 days. Swayamvara, that also Virya Shulkam I explained. Bhishma brought the 3 daughters of king of Kashi by force from the marriage pandal, and like I told you, they were willing actually, because they were getting married to Vichitravirya and Chitrangada, who were pedigreed people, pedigreed princes, and who were very capable. Anyway, their story is different. I don't want to get into that now. So similarly, Karna and Duryodhana also secured their wives in Swayamvaras. Arjuna won the hand of Draupadi, and the rest you know. There are several types of yajnas in the Mahabharata. Putrakameshti by Drupada, Rajasuya and Ashwamedha by Yudhishthira, Vaishnava Yajna by Duryodhana, Rakshasa Satra by Rishi Parashara, Sarpayaga by Janamejaya, and Homas by Chavana Rishi. So, the origin of heroes and all the participants in the Mahabharata war, Pandavas and Kauravas all have Daivi and Asuri attributes respectively. So, all of them were actually heavenly beings, celestial beings. They are amshas, that means part inkaras, incarnations, avatars. And the origin of heroes, there is a whole list. So basically, this is Vaishnava Maya, Sri Krishna Leela, to teach us all lessons about how to live our lives. That is how you must understand it. And all these characters are not some bygone, belonging to some bygone era. In your life, you will find these characters. You will find Ramas and Sita and Lakshmana's Ramayana and Mahabharata are not some forgotten history of a bygone era. This is how people are. This is how situations are. When you read both these itihasas, this is how what happened. Itihasa means this is what happened. So, you will be better prepared to face life when life throws up similar situations. So, that's the beauty. Okay. So it is a manual of life. Both these are manuals of life and relationships, politics, everything. And so in the war, all of them participated. Swargarohana Parva is the last Parva, where the Pandavas leave back to their heavenly origin. Devara system. So the practice of begetting children to save a race from extinction was in vogue. Dhritarashtra, Niyoga system, or Devara is the right word. Dhritarashtra and Pandu were born under this system. They were sired by sage Vedavyasa. Because the kingdom cannot continue without an heir. So that was the practical requirement. And Mahabharata says actually that Sri Mahavishnu plucked one white hair and one black hair. And they entered, one entered the womb of Rohini and Devaki, and both entered. And that is how Balarama, Baladeva and Sri Krishna were born. This is another fantastic story. So this is how Mahavishnu's Krishna is considered. Just one hair of Mahavishnu was born as Krishna, and one white hair of Mahavishnu was born as Balarama. Either way, or Krishna himself is the Supreme Lord, it's up to you, we have no problem. These hairs mentioned above are also spiritually, metaphorically considered the doorways to Vishnu Loka. So I have given you the Esoterica, and so much more is still there about the Adi Parva. So Esoterica of the Adi Parva ends here. We will pick up in the next track. Jai Shri Ram.